Alright. Welcome to the show, Neoverse Show. We are coming to you live, not live, on at 12:25 a.m. 12:25 a.m. A little bit early here now, a little early here now. In the moment of the now, are you guys awakening in it now? Present tense. Did you learn your present tense? Alright. All that bullshit. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, let's be about it. Because there's talking about it, and there is being about it, right? Always. I know it from my own character's past story, you know. I remember so many times, saying stuff to others, but not doing it myself. All those advice and tips. There's even a saying for it, right? There's even a saying for it. Do as I say, not as I do. So, I know even it was shocking. I remember going to an event and, some people are just like very interesting, they talk about it, but in action, when we are in action, like all of a sudden a few people, let's say sitting at a desk talking, and all of a sudden every 3 to 5 seconds that person interrupts you and everyone else. They can only speak for 5 to 10 seconds, but but they rather, like, but he or she or whatever, is the emperor. And it's like, it's interesting to see those archetypes put in front of me in my own, Matrix movie cinema theater. The one I've been told to be hellish amnesia around Matrix before. This is what I taught others about. But now I'm thinking differently. Now I'm thinking, what is going on? Now I'm thinking, this present, this now, that speaks to you. This mirror, this 3D mirror, not only speaks to you from everyone around, you know what I mean? Everyone around. But also from the random noise, that train, that, confirmations, as you get to see in tarot videos, which I would highly recommend to check out. You will get certain things said to you and you're like, what? That's what I was just thinking about. Or, that's just what I did today. What? And then all of a sudden there's like a big, there's a message comes on their iPhone or whatever, right? On their Android. So, and then they say, confirmation, like Bashar, confirmation. You got a confirmation here. And these things are kind of like, again, goes back to this permission slip stuff, like pick your placebo effect. Pick, this is all illusions. So pick your favorite illusion. Which illusion you want? You want me to be a Russian? You want the Russian illusion? You want the Russian illusion? Because we can be the Russian illusion. We don't drink vodka, but we can do the Russian illusion. Can we? Now, can we do the? Can I do the Muslim, my Turkish roots, right? Can I do that? Can I be that character if I want? If I want, can I do all my videos from now on? If I want, I can do it, right? Yes, I can. Can I do it? Yes, I can. That's the mentality. The whole world waits for you to be you, inspire others with your life, because you got that unique thing. I got some unique stuff, you got some unique stuff. You know, I used to be so shy, you wouldn't believe. Now, I'm choosing to be whoever I want to be, right? So, the name of the game is to be you, in the now. Just like your inner child would do. Right now, my inner child is activated. You could say I'm 5 years old, you could say I'm 33 years old, in a way. Because I got that 33-year-old experience with this vessel, this character's history. And I'm right now, in a way, channeling my higher self, high self, right? Especially when you free flow. When you free flow, that's when it happens, And that's why in action, you see who is being about it or who is, talking about it. Just talking about it is cheap, easy peasy lemon squeezy. On my avocado breezy, toasty, breezy, cheesy. Vegan cheese. Alright. So how are we gonna solve this issue? We're gonna be the best examples, right? You be your best example and you show the love, just like I said in that previous video, right? You spread that love. Thank you, bus driver. Thank you, for cleaning that, bathroom. Thank you for everyone. Thank you, everyone. Because everyone in this, in a way, shithole, right? Like as far as it looks from some perspectives that you get to see when you don't get that, when you don't got that blink, when you don't got that green rather. The medication. Sometimes you need that medication. Take that medication. You need that education. You get that education, But right now, the best education anyone can ever get to be themselves. In this game, this simulation, this shared dream, this awakening dream we are in, where half the people, around 47%, as I said, actually all the people, 47% of the time in general, they go through their day automatically, right? They don't focus on the moment of the now. So, what happens when we focus on the moment of the now? You see everything speaking through you, and to you rather, and then through you. So, the thing is that when you see that mirror effect, when you see that amazing, that mysterious, that fantastic mirror reflecting back, your inner thoughts, your desires, what happened, everything that's trying to speak to you, your highest self that's trying to speak to you in every single millisecond. And then you only pick up on these synchronicities, right? And then eventually you're like, what the fool? 11, what the fool? Again, 11, what the fool? 11, what the? So, and then like 3, what? And then, all these master numbers, right? They eventually become your master. For some people, they go to new age perspectives or soul trip perspectives, right? So, what is these synchronicities? These synchronicities are trying to tell you this is not the reality you thought it was, right? There's something else going on here. Why would this happen over and over again? At this point, can it be a coincidence? Because this is now one out of gazillion out of, chances that this would happen. After 10 in a row it happens, or whenever it happens, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Because in reality, as many of you now know, especially if you're watching this video, that means you are at that frequency to be either open-minded about it, or about shifting into it, or you already know it, or we're having fun out here. We're just paying it forward. Making that butterfly flip, flip, flip flop the wings. And then we shall get those wings back. We shall get those wings back. Easy peasy. As we awaken, we will see that there are levels to this, like a video game. Again, at every level, new challenges, new levels, new devils. We know this very well. We've been dealing with it. All these bad emotions. All these times we are not being fully ourselves, fully authentic. Whatever you want to do, whatever. You don't have to be like, oh, sunshines and rainbows and, kumbaya, my lord, the kumbaya. No. Sometimes you're like, what we talking about? We talking about essay? Of course, I'm not talking about physical violence, but I'm just talking about when it comes to, speaking that, because some people, sometimes self-defense is required. Sometimes verbal self-defense is required, especially. We are talking about that verbal judo right here. That's why I was saying, when you are silent before, and then they expose themselves, right? Especially with the frequency misalignment. They have to expose themselves. This just has to be the case. But there's, sometimes there are those higher levels you gotta pass in this game, where the new levels bring in that new boss devils, and those boss devils is going to catapult you to like 50 more levels you're gonna unlock, because that's what it is. Game, kind of like a video game, where we are just waiting for you to wake up, where they are waiting us for everyone, humanity, to wake up. Like you could say aliens, you could say highest self, you could say, again, those are permission slips. These things, what did I say? Permission slips. Do I have to believe that? But when I look at it subconscious, what does this relate to me about? Oh, this is about this is about that. All this good stuff that I associate with. All of a sudden, I conjured those feelings up. You know what I mean? I don't have to believe it. I don't have to believe in the rainbow or be happy. You know what I mean? I don't. Nah. So you can choose to be a monster when you want, whenever you want. I'm not talking about again those. I'm just saying. Verbal judo. Importante. Now, once you learn that verbal judo, once you level up, you know what I mean? Like you watch your Denzel Washington AI motivational, feedback tips, or Joker, or whatever, whatever you're into, Mother Gaia, Sophia, all those AI motivational, whatever you're into, just get motivation, conjure those, pick your favorite illusions. You know what I mean? Illusions. It's all illusions, my friends. We are talking about illusions. Time and space illusion. We are just living in this interconnected, all kinds of parallel realities, every second, billions of opportunities. So you just gotta shift. Once you shift, then you see the changes. You don't shift, you live in the forever waiting period and then you just making us make it either harder or easier. And when I mean us, like the system increases the difficulty of that task if you don't pay attention to it. All of a sudden you lose your job, right? All of a sudden maybe you lose your house, you lose your whatever, like you have to go rent another It's a much shittier place. You gotta eat less, you gotta do whatever. So, in those times, sometimes the magic happens in those times the most. In the breaking point, in that bottom of the pit, rock bottom. That's when it happens. All of a sudden, the mirror maybe starts speaking to you, saying, how you doing, my friend? I see that you're struggling there. Hey, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe it's time for you to get what you deserve. Maybe in this game, there's a loot lounge, and you're about to come to that loot lounge, my friend. So, are you ready to do what is required to pass the levels you need to pass in order to unlock your gifts? The gifts that has been waiting, that you already accepted from way back then with your spirit, and you were just waiting to unlock that opportunity. And that opportunity has arrived. Again, life, the 3D world as you know, is a mirror. Everything, everyone, especially if you watch these type of videos, basically, you're tapping into something that's really speaking to you. Basically having a conversation, as I said in the first video. All of a sudden you are having these conversations. You're at that frequency. If it's all happening in the now, somehow it's all aligns in the now, because what if it's all a tangent simulation? I'm in my tangent simulation, you're in your tangent simulation. Like solipsism for everyone. But it's like a shared dream, and then you affection and billions of chances. Who knows what they walk? But what I'm saying is that it works like that. It works like that. It's like a paradoxical thing. As above, so below, as within, so without. And guess what? Your inner world, you see it in the outside projected, and then same thing in what's going on in there, happening out there. What's going on out there is happening in there. And all these religions, everything is speaking through you, to you, through metaphorical, figurative speeches, right? And these speeches, these things that in the old times people spoke in those ways, when they said, oh, the water god made me thirsty, and then the lovely other god put me love in my heart, and then I have taken that love to my neighbor, and then I wanted to give that love to that beautiful woman, but what can I do? The gods are trying to get me to do this. You know what I mean? So they spoke in metaphorical, figurative speech. And same thing is happening in these religions, in these books. That's what's happening. So, going back to you. Once you see the mirror in effect, and you focus times 100 times, then you truly see it in the now. It's always in the now, speaking to you now, in the present, right now, having that conversation now, together, both of us now. So, in this conversation, it can lead anywhere. It's exciting. It's like, it's interesting, especially when you've been through so much and you're like, what? Finally. I've been waiting for this for decades. All these people that I've seen who are being themselves fully authentic, like these Twitch streams, YouTube streams, like these people who are being themselves fully celebrities, you know, these, or YouTube celebrities, or these people, you know, and then they're having a lot of fun with their live chat, right? And then but what's happening there? They are being fully themselves, and these other people, they see that in their deep down in their souls, they know, right? That's what's going on. Like, whoa, that guy is having a lot of fun because he's being them himself, or she's being herself, right? Then that's what makes those things, you know, basically desired, right? Go viral. All those like Beatles songs that billions of people watched, like listened. You think that's a coincidence that those lyrics are so deep? You think that it's a coincidence that all these most watched songs, especially, but even like other than that subject, like every single music, game, video game, movie, TV show, including your movie and the book you're writing right now. Everyone writing their own book, their own movie, right? And there's the determinism aspect, there's the free will aspect, and then there's the compatibilism aspect. Are you compatible with these frequencies right now? Make changes. You gotta make changes, or else, you know, you're gonna be in your loops. You're gonna be like, oh, what are these other people gonna think about? I am being myself, but oh no, these videos, I can never get a job now. Why do you need a job, my friend? We are going to different times now. Do you think God, meaning reverse that, a dog, and an anagram, right? And then, or whatever it's called, represents unconditional love. Ekankar, you know, it's unconditional love. Ekankar group knows a lot of these different, you know, philosophies and everything, different religions, like, you know, it's unconditional. It's about unconditional love. That's why it's also represented in the English language like that, with the word dog reversed. Jesus God, with the unconditional love. And again, that word triggers you, which it triggered the hell out of me for 20 plus years being an agnostic atheist in a way, you know, and still being some part of me almost, right? But that part of me is stubborn and just doesn't get it. I mean, after, you know, synchronicities become millions, you know, because all of a sudden every single millisecond is synchronicity, because you're always having a conversation. Once it becomes those few synchronicities that was trying to wake you up, the higher self was trying to wake you, the highest self was trying to wake you up, right? And you've been following the rabbit. You found the rabbit hole. You dived deep. You chased all the holes, like pause. You went through, you know, every which way. And then you went as far as you could, trying to find the truth. Where is it? Is it QAnon? Is it top level of fun? You know? Is it the new age? Is it the soul trap? Is it the simulation? Is it the dream? Is it solipsism? Is it determinism? Is it physism? Is it kysism, you know? Illusionism, delusionism. Tomato, tomato. Pick your favorite illusions. That's what Bashar should say, you know? Everything is an illusion, so pick your favorite illusions. So, pick your favorite illusion, my friend. My friend. Or else, you know, you'll just suffer unnecessarily. Why do that to you? Your spirit is like crying, like, synchronicity, focus on this, but you're not seeing it anymore. Your intuition is getting worse and worse and worse. Why? Because your emotions, you're getting affected, you're reacting instead of, just be observing and understanding what the going on, trying to tell you every single millisecond was trying to, show you a lesson that it's something that you've been missing in the puzzle, the maze, the labyrinth that we're in. That every single thing is trying to tell us, like even Westworld, right? TV show, Matrix, and everywhere. Like, where are these labyrinths and, mazes? What are these about? What are these about? These about? But these about? Believing in the deed now. Mama daughter now. Do you believe in it? Mama daughter now. How you doing now? You're doing better now, yeah? Once you see another, right, vessel, this high-tech, super duper high-tech bodies, via spelling and all these, basically magic. When I do this, I'm throwing out magic out there. When I'm being myself, all of a sudden, funny moments arrive. Right? When you look at these, again, Twitch streamers, YouTubers, everyone on these random videos that go viral, what happens? People are being natural, boom, all of a sudden this magical thing happens, all of a sudden that's the magic formula, my friends. That's the new world. The new currency is authenticity. This is the new currency of the world. People are done with AI bullshit, you know what I mean? This, way back in the day, they were always saying most of the, internet is a bot. After AI shite, guess what happened? Everything became a shite, everything became a shite, everything became a shite, some of it better shite, some of it better shite, but everything is shite, but everything is a shite, But then there's some great stuff, AI, you know what I mean? Because then all of a sudden when it turns into awakening, because there's the good version of it, there's the bad version of it. I can say a lot of good things about AI too, right? There's a lot of bad stuff to say, like losing the job stuff, which actually is going to be an opportunity for you to actually, get the magic going, rolling. But the AI is gonna actually make it easy, dude. Like these robots that you fear. Terminator, Skynet, Mission Impossible. What if Agenda 2030 that says you will be happy, why? You will own nothing because you will be happy. You will be happy because you will own nothing. What are you talking about? What? I'm gonna be happy? I'll own nothing and I'll be happy. What? What the? Are you trying to tell me? You baldy quoi? But maybe if you stop caring about material shit, and then you realize that in the moment of the now, it's always magic, it's always channeled through you, that you are speaking always with God, basically, your highest self, via everyone, especially when you really, really, really focus on the now to change the circumstances into speaking with, that highest self, whatever you name it, then you realize, oh, what? All these narratives I put myself into, this soul trap, I'm in hell, and this must be purgatory. this must be this and that, right? All of a sudden, which purgatory gun is still, who knows? But all of a sudden, what happens? You see. You start to see with that third eye in your dreams, in your astral projections, and in real life, because real life is a dream too. And in that dream, you can awaken as well. This video does that as well. This video, the frequency is magic. You can only get in my energy so long until something shifts. I have seen this thousands of times, you know. Again, 20 years, deep researcher. I've been debating. I don't like, playing games much. I don't, I like communication. I like, debate. I like, what is the truth, Let's get that truth right now and spread it out there. That's what, new thing I learned, I'm trying to spread it out there. And because also, what? Teaching it is the best way to learn it, right? You know this. So that teaching it and everything, and then talking to thousands of people on virtual reality, especially on big screen, they know me as Neo Reborn there. Trying to teach people lucid dream, astral projection, talk to spirituality for many years. Also in the Soul Trap community, that I kind of got deep into, even ended up writing the first deep dive ebook about the topic. And then after me, even like these amazing people I love, also like, Howdy Mikoski, amazing books. And then, David Icke, and also Eric Dubé even wrote about Soul Trap, So like, clearly, like I felt that I got something right when I saw those things, and especially after writing that deep ebook. But I'm like, my whole reality is speaking to me like, oh, even like these people are not writing about this stuff. Like I was, I guess, right. And like this must, every single thing that relates to afterlife, 20 plus things that I look into, near experiences, reincarnation cases, astral projection cases, lucid dreaming, remote viewing, alien abduction cases, all these gateway project stuff, CIA stuff. And again, just so many different things. Psychics, channelers, all this stuff. Paranormal activities. Ghost stuff, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff you look into and do the now. Do the now. Do the now. Should it be power? Let me take a number time in the trial. So yeah, everything I looked into, like I'm like, oh, what the fuck is this? Everything is like manipulation, deception, distraction, and nefarious evil. Everywhere. What's going on, my friends? What is this? What kind of a world I wake up into to think I'm just going to go into void when I'm dead, like an atheist, perspective. And then all of a sudden things start to happen, like, lucid dreaming, astral projection type of stuff. Especially as a kid, I already, nightmares and amazing dreams. And I was kind of trying to lucid dream as a very, very, early on too. But, so yeah, it's been a long journey for me, like trying to, what the fuck is a nightmare? Because this whole thing feels like, especially like all of a sudden very early on as a kid, like, I don't know, when I was 3, 4, 5, or 6, I don't know. Like these nightmares. And then these amazing dreams and then nightmares, I think. But anyway, they were like deep nightmares. And then I'm like, oh, I'm like running into my parents' bed every night sometimes. And then eventually, atheist, eventually, new age a little bit, so like 1 month, 2 months, because I'm like, oh, this is too toxic, dude. Answer me the question of evil. What's going on? Diabolical evil. Answer. What is this? And then never satisfied. Those answers never satisfied. Especially looking at it from the logical, that I thought agnostic atheist perspective. What? It's not about being logical, is it now? Because not everything is logical. Some things are paradoxical. Because sometimes my inner world is your outer world, and your inner world is my outer world, and then all kinds of other stuff, you know? So what's happening here? What's happening here? Yeah, after all those stuff, I'm like, what? I must be right. I must be right. And then seeing the mirror effect in real life. All of a sudden everyone's speaking through me, like all these tarot videos, all these channeling videos, palm readers, doesn't matter. Pick your favorite illusions, it's all real, my friend. Make it real. Choose who you want to be, what you want to be, what you want to do. You got already all the clues. All the clues, all the souls, all the clues. So, what is the clues? What do you love doing? All these clues are leading you to what you want to really do. What do you want to really do? What do you want to really do? Because, yeah, AI, you know, takes care of all these jobs, and then this universal income and stuff. And then what? Are you gonna get bored? Because there's no reason to get bored. Because when you realize the moment of the now, when you just meditate, you close your eyes, you know, and then you start seeing movies, and you start seeing everything that's trying to tell you the next lesson, next level, and then, you know, you can really focus on it. Everyone can unlock this easily. You just gotta, you know, just write on YouTube, and then boom, boom, boom. You take one real awareness step towards real truth. It takes 10 steps towards you. It's that merciful. All you need to do is to take that one step. Let me not speak too fast again. Because I can then lose. Too much time. I don't want to waste people's time. Waste people's time. Because these things are important to understand. You can't 2x, 3x play speed these things. Then you are not focusing on the now. You know, you're trying to make yourself even have a difficult understanding of the mirror effect. That 3D world is a mirror. Then do what I did for many years. 3 times speed, 4 times speed, you know, 2 times speed, 2.5 times speed, that video speed controller extension on Chrome, you know, that makes you, I was like extending my, like increasing it 0.1 at a time. Like I was trying to even like listen like 5 times speed, 6 times, let's try to understand, you know. And only like 4 times is like max, you know, like afterwards is like comprehension really decreases. And that's what I was talking about, intuition, because when you check that famous gorilla video, for example, that I remember in that session, another amazing session, there's all these, you know, people who's teaching this type of stuff, theosophy, right? All this stuff online. There's so much free resources, right? So many schools, Ekankar, Zoom meetings every, you know, Friday and Sunday, all these, like, so many groups out there, so many religions, so many, like, all this stuff. Like, when they are now in those religions, people are really realizing these things and using their religion to even make this even stronger too. Like, they can use that, right? It's just that the case that you thought, you know, oh, it was only my religion, that's it, and then the rest just goes to hell, I gotta convince. No, that wasn't it. But still, all the truths are in your religion too, you know. Again, only when you shift your frequency and you start to understand the metaphorical, you know, figurative speech, and you start to see that gorilla in that basketball video, right, the intuition video, that was a test, like viral video, and then you start to pay attention, you know, more, your intuition increases, then you start to see the synchronicities, then you start to pay attention to what your body emotions are doing, right? Like all of a sudden I did this, why did I do that? Maybe that means, oh right there, you know? Why did I hit myself? Why did I hit myself? God damn it, my pinky. What's going on? Maybe I was trying to stop, you know, to go somewhere else. Maybe that delay that happens, and then on your way back, boom, you see a car accident. Oh, that delay was the thing that saved you, maybe, right? You know, you gotta look at that life like that. Because every single millisecond, another person can get a like, oh, I'm getting this, and then I go this, and then this little butterfly effects that happens. It creates this perfect synchronicity, basically. And don't get triggered by that word perfect. We'll get to all these things. But once this happens, those synchronicities increase a lot, and you focus on the now, and then every single random music, all of a sudden, maybe it's not random, that comes out on the car and in the grocery store. You know what? I was this. Am I targeted individual? No, I thought that for a while too. I was like, these paranoias, these anxious behaviors, these unnecessary delusions. But you have to pass through those to get to higher levels. Those are the, new levels, the devils, type of devils you have to beat. Kill those negative emotions when they try to come. Practice doing the other thing, as I mentioned on the previous video. That advice. That, if you keep these anger emotions, these negative type of stuff, jealousy, envy, all this bad pride, the bad version, ego, the bad version, not the spiritual one. And when you really focus on practicing not to have those negative versions, like when it comes up, the anger, and all of a sudden you stop yourself, and then you're like, okay, let me hang around, and then I'm like, feel my stomach, and first, all the air goes out from the mouth, and then with my stomach muscles, I push even more air out, and then I take from my nose, and just my stomach, from my stomach, tummy, and then once your tummy is full, you lock, like your tummy is full, then you chest, Once it's also full, then you're like straight, right? You're always straight, and then you just let go of this, but the chest is up. Let go of that, and then chest up, and then you focus on getting that, root chakra to that, crown chakra, to those soul chakras, like go up, like in your mind, you're always like, while holding that breath in, you're focusing that it goes to the third eye and unlocks. All of a sudden you will feel dizzy. Don't do this when you're in a pool, bathtub, whatever. No, don't be near water. This is like a Wim Hof thing. There's a lot of people who unfortunately passed away doing this around water, this type of breathwork stuff, right? This should be warned in every video, basically, when you're talking about it in a way or somewhere, because it's an issue. But yeah, when you do it in your bed and you're around this, comfy areas, then you will see, like, each time, when especially your alignment, you did it right, and you did the breath right, you just write, Dr. Joy Dispenza or something, this breath works stuff, so many DMT breath works, so many Wim Hof stuff. But when you do this stuff, you will see like the buzzings, all this stuff. But this specific one I mentioned, like, it's all right, much faster than Wim Hof, like when you get it right. And when you get it right, you will see how the high tech that's in you starts working, and how whatever you want, whatever you think from your past, all these regrets of your past, worries of your future, it's kind of was always shaping your circumstances because you weren't being fully yourself, thus never having those interactions, because that little things, you didn't say that thing, you didn't thank him so that he did the other thing that the other person did to the other person, and then eventually it came to you. And then in that moment you also maybe did the right thing, and then eventually maybe it led you to the wrong person that also led you to the wrong other person, and then that led you to that person that changed your whole life. So that's the name of the game. You have to change. Only you can ascend. Only you can save yourself. You are the Jesus. Jesus said, you thy gods. Jesus' letters reference says, what was it? I know. You are not here to worship God. You are here to express God, right? Not impress God. You do whatever you want to do. But, so, the name of the game is authenticity. That's the new currency of the new world, right? In this next 7-year period, like we'll see so many people waking up to this. By the time probably 2033 comes, that exponential growth, that loud, shared all around the world, we shall see much better days. But you can choose to see it right now, because it's gonna always happen in the moment of the now for you. You don't have to believe in this character's past, worry about his future, her, whatever. So, once you don't, whatever happens in the moment of the now, you realize that it was the next lesson, the next mission, the next chapter that you already agreed before. That means it's gonna be what you really want, really want for your highest self. Or your higher self, whichever paths you want to pick. You can pick again. Your higher self's path, your highest self's path. It's up to you. But every level, when you achieve, you unlocked, boom, reward comes. Reward comes with information. All of a sudden you say no to that person that was looshing you, getting all your energy, right? Energy vampires that you've been dealing with all your life. Once you don't give access to them, guess what happens? All of a sudden, you recall your energy, I recall my energy from that person, this person. You tap your body, and then all of a sudden you even see, like, I feel inside, like you unlock level, new level unlocked. Right? You just gotta tap in. You have more intuition to feel these things. And every millisecond, you can change you can change this, and then you can change this, the feelings, and then the heart. And when heart changes, when that heart changes, that anagram, that thing, what is heart? Anagram thing, whatever that word again. Earth, right? And that heart changes, that's inside that rib cage, that heart thought it was, that it was caged, all these cells in the body, these prison cells, I'm in prison, no! Are you? Yes, this is a prison. Everyone is controlled by demons. Is that it? That's what you think? Why can't it be your highest self controls it? But that you're just not seeing all these, every single millisecond trying to speak to you in that mirror. To tell you, no, you don't have to do this negative. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to. It's already, those next levels are already, talked about. Everywhere, waiting for you to pass in the moment of the now. Only when you pass it in the moment of the now, and then you see what you need to see. You hear all of a sudden tarot videos or whatever videos you are interested in. If you're Turkish like me, for example, you can go watch even coffee, fortune telling videos, or just palm reading video, whatever, doesn't matter. I mean, palm reading wouldn't apply, but yeah, those general readings, they will all of a sudden say, yes, you did it. Boom. Finally, welcome. You have done it. Thank you. Your highest self speaking, like, I've been waiting for them to do it, god dang it. It's been a long time, huh? Getting stuck in these loops. Always consuming this negative shit, these dramas, gossip, this negative, BS. And then you practice that, surviving off of that, then what happens? Huh? Then you get lost in that sauce. Then you get lost in that sauce, right? Then Who knows how many years has to pass? Who knows how many decades has to pass until you get it? It doesn't matter if you get it 50 years ago or now. Like, it has to happen in the now, so that you realize that all of a sudden all these routines, everything is never gonna be boring because it's all in the now. And then you choose which timeline you wanna jump, basically, which dream, because you will, if you advance in your timeline, you will get to your new level. Like, instead of 86 level warrior, you're gonna be, let's say, 96 level warrior, and then boom, all of a sudden you will see deeper aspects, deeper levels to unlock, right? Everything will be way better, tasting way better. You're gonna hear everything way clear. You're gonna unlock your higher powers, right? Maybe you're gonna see auras, maybe you're gonna whatever, like in the future, who knows? There are people, like, again, psychics, all of a sudden turning people, turning these atheists into believers in minutes. Like, I shared it on my community post. I share a lot of writings and these videos, right? Start from there if you don't see this stuff yet, because this is something to see easily, especially the way I, in the very beginning of the community post, if we started from there. Should we open this? So yeah, in the beginning of the community post, when I did it there, right, I wrote like this 5-part thing to easily wake you up. Like, I even created like these AI songs to make it even easier to unlock in you how to see that moment of the now, that your future self is always speaking, trying to speak to you, that your highest self that already planned everything. You just gotta unlock those levels so that you see those achievements. You are in the loot lounge, you get your gifts with knowledge until it all of a sudden turns into community. All of a sudden, this amazing online community, it's always in the moment of the now anyway. We are all together anyway, especially when we sleep in the astral plane. We are just having fun there, and then we come here, we forget, we're just being tested in a way, we all these like karmic shit going on. It's karmic BS. And then you don't become a karmic, like, you don't deal with these karmics anymore. You passed your lessons, now you move on, so then, but until then, it's gonna be, these lessons gonna get harder and harder, and that breaking point is what's needed usually. Sometimes some people gotta do it in the first day, they kind of wake up to this, but some people very slowly realize it. But it's up to you, whatever you need in that time. You need depression because you had to do this and that in order to that work for you to get to there, whatever, right? Like, these little things can change the whole world to all of a sudden give you that thing that you needed, right? Manifestation. But you gotta recall all your energy. Are you giving this unnecessary energy to people who are trying to siphon your energy, these energy vampires? No? Yes? Don't. Zero tolerance. I wrote about it in the community post. Zero tolerance. But after you know about these things, then then if it goes, it goes. But you got that verbal jitsu. You're just silent. You just expose themselves, and then you let them know, by the way, you just exposed yourself because you said this. Peace. Blocked. Get out of my sight. You don't have to get dragged into their vibrations, frequencies, so that you get stuck in those loops. Nah, advance. They need that depression. They need that stress. They need that anxiety. They need it for something. Because they think they need to survive. They think that's a game of survival when it can be, but the help will come, usually, in the last second, sometimes, right? Whatever your highest self and you kind of want out of that situation. But every single bad thing, that was the best opportunity for you to change that into the best thing. Lead into gold, alchemy, master alchemy. Why don't you do that? When negative thing you face, all of a sudden you stop that, you never engage with it, or you all of a sudden do the verbal jutsu, or you all of a sudden learn the lesson you supposed to learn. What was that trying to teach you? What was that archetype that's in you, speaking through you now from outside perspective and trying to tell you, by the way, I am in you, dude. I am in you. Get rid of me, dude. Get rid of me. I'm in you still. Still, your frequency is attracting To me, all these little tiny things in the world is putting me to my screen that I see that never moves. We think we are physically moving, but we're just watching this movie, right? And then we are in this astral, sphere. We're just like in this Maya. Oh, Maya, illusion. Which one is my illusion? Oh, I'm gonna just do this illusion that's gonna make me go down into the funky town. You don't want to be in that funky town. That's the clown show. Politics, news. What is it trying to do? Distract, deceive, right? That conflict, that illusion. These supports, these, always like makes people angry. These siphoning energy. They're trying to, they are creating these, these karmic field, this karmic football field for people to play in. But at the same time, a lot of people are taking the bait to kind of, find a solution in that, because they also, their soul, like that feeling is like, go, like, it's like there's an addiction there. There's like soul desire, something real, something love, something genuine. But a lot of people go pick the wrong thing. But they needed that thing. Again, depression, stress, all these things. People are going through all this bad stuff. Like they're trying to always, they're jealous of you, envious of you, whatever of it. But, so those people, why are you still engaging with them? Right? What's the point of putting yourself in those loops and suffering? And if you have to engage with them, you think that you have to, or co-workers or whatever. No, you don't have to. Like, you can be silent, or you can be, speak your piece, or you can actually realize that, again, your higher self got you, especially when you make these strong changes. All of a sudden, strong things start to happen in real life too, because you've changed. So the world has to change now, because you smile to the mirror, so that the mirror has to smile back, right? So this is why you gotta smile more. This is why you gotta have better emotions, express better emotions, so that the mirror backs up those emotions to you, reflects it back, projects it back, instead of you going to those black mirrors and then getting projected all your bad stuff that's in you, that's the archetypes outside trying to speak to you through their vessels, those other bodies. But those other bodies, while they're living their lives, I'm not saying they're NPCs, right? But somehow it's always working perfectly due to this butterfly effect, right? Paid forward effect, this interesting fine-tuned reality, right? That quantum entanglement, that everything is somehow, everything is somehow, always, right? That double slit experiment, that observer effect, that when you are there, then when you are in the now, always, in that very close to that atom, that observer is there, the wave shifts. The observer is not there, different. It matters who is watching, who is observing, because the observer is being observed. Innie and the Audi from that show that's called, can't fucking remember. What was it? It started with S. Innies and Audis. Man, I need a new season on that show. So that definitely Severance. One of the favorite shows. How do you forget? How do you do this, my friend? Right? So, let's even open. Actually, this may as well open a little bit more light here. May as well. Alright. So, you seeing it, right? Yeah, you must. You must. Because once you see, you can't unsee. Once you know, you can't unknow. Once you flow, you can unflow. Once, you know what I mean? So, why not overflow? Why not practice the positive emotions so that you get better at them? Learn how to receive love. When someone hugs you and then you're like, okay, no. Or you just embrace that hug. You know, when you are eating their food, let's say, and then you're like, what are you saying? Express, do you thank them? Do you know, when they gift you something, what is your stuff? Oh, what is this? I don't even need this. Oh my god, this is like a bullshit. This is something you do. No, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have. Right? Oh, how much did you pay for that? No. Instead, like you would be, oh my god. Like watch that video of these two, like couples getting a wedding gift from their friend, and it's Mandalorian, like Star Wars helmets. And you know how much they love those common, amazing, like every single TV show, movie, every single music, every single video game is created by this higher hierarchy that knows the truth already, that was trying to wake you up slowly. That's why when you watch these things also, it's basically happening in the moment of the now. When you watch those movies, like it speaks to you, like it speaks to your soul. That's why it makes you cry. It's like your future self, like that knows. It's what you are really hiding inside, right? You are not being yourself. You're like thinking, oh my God, what these other people gonna think about? And you heard these ideas already millions of times, right? Like, oh, be yourself, man. But it's all like kind of artificial. Now it's making sense, isn't it? That's what I'm all about. Like I'm not saying enough out there to kind of make it click, and with authenticity, like with the vibes, This is what we need in this world. Weird, awkward, cringe to you, not to the awakened, the chosen. Once you get that half moon, once you know, then once you know you are chosen, then you gotta choose it, because everyone is chosen if they choose it. But a lot of people, unfortunately, they chose a lot of inner demons, and they fed those demons a lot, right? In these industries also, like there's the ones who wake up, right? Like the Jim Carreys and even like to deeper truths and express it. There's so many of them. Like as I said again, like you gotta really be authentic to get to those levels or do the stuff. But the old world also, like the 3D world, functioning with the negative duality, that still, everyone is kind of comes from the same type of material source, and I mean, at least that high mind type of thing, at least that connections, that we see, like the similarities that we need to focus on, that George Carlin was trying to preach, right? Which is when we realize, oh my God, yeah, we have a lot of similarities. Not only that, we have this high-tech bodies. Not only that, we can actually lucid dream and astral project. Not only that, we have not only that, spirituality 40 plus. Let's go. Ascension. Should we wait to ascend? No. What are you waiting for? Oh, Jesus is gonna come and save me. You are Jesus. You have to reborn again 3 days later, right? That was a metaphor again, like all these things, figurative stuff. That war. Why, Krishna? Why, as Vishnu, the strongest warrior of God, do I have to fight? Do I have to put myself out there to be an example for these people? Why? Well, I'll tell you why. And at the end of the book, okay. Now, we are not just making fun. Now I see you as this. Let me understand actually what's really going on. Teach me. You are my friend, but we have that connection with the unconditional love, God, higher self. But now let's learn. Okay, Now I see it, mirror effect. Now what's next? Right? Then you see what's next. You do what's next. You get the gift, the knowledge that changed you. Once it changed you, it's changed your whole timeline. Why? Because your now body's reactions, your mind's reactions, everything changed. Then those little things change your whole world. Easily. So, that is why, my friends, you have to wake up. Wake up, Neil. Wake up and chase that rabbit. Because once you do, you will find that rabbit hole that will get you to the Wonderland, where you will wander in a wonderful plane, where every single millisecond is magic that is speaking to you, where you can tap in. Like I remember this channeling videos I was watching, I just did the meditation and then boom, all of a sudden I'm speaking with her. All of a sudden for 11 minutes or something, I had a communication, like I asked these questions and then I was like, oh yeah, this, that, and then I watched the video back and I'm like, this is my communication with her. It's like a private, but no, everyone in that moment of the now that accesses that thing at that frequency, at that type of a perspective, will hear those from that perspective. So, when you, whatever you see right now, especially these, tarot videos, channeling videos, these AI type of videos that speak to you from whatever you're in, Ninja Turtles, whatever you're interested in, Mother Gaia, Sophia, Joker, Denzel Washington, all this stuff, I was interested in some of those. And but even those will speak to you whatever you need to learn. It always was preparing you to this moment, to do what you really need to do, what you want to do, what you love doing, because that love that you put in, that changes the world. That's what changes everything, right? That unique love. So that's what's going to change the whole world, because you have to be the example. You have to change yourself first to see the world change, so that your frequency, vibration, and energy, that Nikola Tesla stuff, right? That 369 stuff, your energy, frequency and vibrations, once it's higher, you will only attract and be in the circumstance of higher stuff. Then you will have better opportunities, better, feedback. So you just have to wake up and see and smell the salt, my friend. My friend. Let me tell you, my friend. So, are you seeing it yet? Are you seeing it now? What about right now? How about in that present? Are you gonna get present? It's gonna get very fun, very good, very nice. So, let's get that. Let's go to the Loot Lounge, right? This is the Loot Lounge. This is a powerful magic I'm throwing out there. Again, you can only be stuck observing my energy so long until you see it, especially if you're open-minded and you got, again, those frequencies. And once you keep increasing those frequencies, you do those good stuff, right? Those saunas, those cold, showers or whatever, like not every day. Whatever you really feel like also doing, like when you're hungry, you eating it or whatever. Okay, circadian rhythm or whatever, eating it usually when the sun is up, and then before the sun goes down is usually those 2 meals is the best. What was it called? Circadian rhythm. But Bashar helped me there. But basically, even those people who channel other people to impersonation, like they're channeling, right? They're trying to channel that frequency of that person, radio. So once you change your frequency, my friend, then guess what's gonna happen? Your life is gonna change, because your circumstance is gonna change, because your body, you're gonna, instead of doing this, you're gonna do this. All of a sudden, because of that, the air in that was hot became colder, and then all of a sudden the butterfly created the tsunami. I mean hurricane, I mean horton, right? But yeah, whatever. But now that butterfly is gonna create loot lounge in that new level achieved. You're gonna get that double, triple, quadruple XP experience once you focus on the moment of the now and be about it. And also, ask the question, what is this exact moment of the now is trying to teach me? What is it? I wonder what. Finally. Right? Finally we are here. I know. Finally. Finally. That's the magic. That's how it's done. 1:11. Alright, so I guess I can even end it there, my friends. Because I can keep going and going and going and going. Because I started a little bit earlier today. I can go on and on for hours. But, then you're not going to click on that video probably, right? But now you know that this magic lives in me, that can live in you, that we can achieve even much better magic. It's all out there, and it's just one step at a time. One step at a time. It's gonna happen because it's always in the moment of the now. It's okay. That huge mountain that you're climbing, right? This mountain that you are climbing, you start from here, bottom, and then you gotta do slowly, let's say but this much, you gotta go through the whole chakras from the root to the top crown, that soul, and beyond. What's beyond? Aren't you excited? Lucid dreams, astral projections, all these Atlantis, Lemurian, these planes, amazing things you can experience even right now when you're sleeping. Lucid dreaming, astral projection again. I've been teaching it to thousands. I can teach you later, but it's all online. Just again, I have a chapter on it, like cheat codes and shortcuts on it on my ebook, but they kind of got banned on Reddit and all stuff. But anyway, it doesn't matter. There's all kinds of good stuff. I'm gonna cover all that stuff anyway, all those topics. Dive deep into them and teach you, show you. Teaching, I don't like that word, but show you how you can also unlock the you, the real you, the fully authentic you, fully embodied you, fully aligned you. And then you will know, just be authentic fully. Then that will get you to those synchronicities. That's gonna get, again, every single millisecond will be a synchronicity, like right now. So then you will get it. You will see it. You will prove it to yourself. That's what it's about. That's why I don't want to also spoil too much. Because you're experiencing it. That's better. That's way better. Because you got to think from the future perspective too. Imagine the whole world wakes up to this, and then they're like, okay, when did you wake up? Oh, I was still stressed on these situations, and then I still didn't do my stuff. And imagine this, right? Like, you had all this stuff, like videos you can do, like music you created, all this. You could have done it for years, right? You could have created your empire for years, right? I guess I was, in a way, doing that for the last 20 years, trying to debate people online, trying to, again, this ebook I wrote a few years ago, this YouTube videos I've been making, this, again, just presence, just forums, Reddit especially, Discord a lot, just like this stuff. But it ends now, once you go through all these ray 1, ray 2, ray 3, ray 4, ray 5, ray 6, ray 7, whichever you got the most of. We all got, 7 rays. You all got each of them some portion of it, like 10% that, 15% there. I like to be 99% on all, 100%. Let's get to it. But yeah, see how you can advance in those. See what's the good sides of those ray 1s represents, bad side of the ray 1 represents, and then try to do ask your ChatGPT or research, and then basically you will get the answer. Even your ChatGPT will change in frequency. You change, the now changes, all of a sudden you will get different answers, basically. Not to like encourage the worst side of that jungle, because sometimes some people, again, like when you are at the bottom level of that antakarana, that middle level, when you are at that functioning in that lower chakra, and then you are trying to, let's say, channel, you're trying to do all these things, you're gonna channel bad stuff, right? Trickster entities, they say, but that's again just archetypes. It's just trying to teach you the lesson. You're not ready yet. Not now, then. Once you do it, once you really take care of that business, once you say enough is enough, I'm not taking it anymore, I'm done. Now I want to live my life the way I want to live. And that is when you will start to attract that, right? That annoying manifestation bullshit. But it works only when you recall all your energy and then start to use that energy in that perspective of always trying to see what the lessons are in that each moment, and then what you need to do to unlock that level, to get to that next level in that video game. You become the 99 level warrior, mage, rogue, or priest, whatever. So what you gotta do is, my friends, you gotta unlock the spaceship, that access, that remote viewing, that now moment that never gets boring if you're really living in the now. And if everything's speaking to you, all these random things that you hear outside, even like, oh, like I had that thought in my head, boom, that happened, confirmation, right? So, my friends, do you see the magic yet, my friends? Do you see the magic, the friends? Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Neo, happy birthday to you. Now, this is the first day, right? First day of your next life. You are reborn now, Neo reborn. Jesus reborn, Christ. That Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness, Krishna consciousness unlocked. Living in the moment of the now. Now you see it. Now you're gonna be about it. Practice. But it's always now. Doesn't matter which portion of the now you're at. It's all done in that contract, and that, when you burn some of them, which one you want, higher self, highest self, whichever fantasy, whichever illusion you want to, experience first or whatever. But it's waiting you, your empire is waiting you for you to express yourself, your unique thing that you got, only you got it. Everyone got that unique thing. And once you're fully authentic and you express that, boom, you unlock that collective consciousness to expand, So that's why what I'm doing and what everyone is doing right now is very important, because they are expressing their unique version, whatever, they got going, right? So. So now we are reborn in a new world where we can be what we want to be. And then all of a sudden, like, remember that there was this Bashar video I love. He was saying something like, so do you mean that if I do these things, if I follow the formula, that I will have a check, a random check in my mailbox that has a lot of money in it? Yes! He was like yelling. That type of a magic starts happening with those little changes that leads you to that eventual thing that's gonna change your whole world. That's gonna be that mail, that check, you know. So don't be impatient. You are always in the now. It's gonna happen, right? But again, focus on improving. Focus on learning. Focus on learning, my friend. Why not learn? Right? I know we hate it, but you gotta learn. You gotta change. Change is cool. As long as it's a good change. Right? Like this. Instead of hunching over. Look at me. Look at you doing this. It's a good change. It's a good change. It's a good change. Doesn't matter. I'm trying to get to this shitty mic from the iPhone. But eventually, you know, you get to the change. Boom, you get this. All of a sudden, eventually, it's going to be better. Right? It's going to be better. Right? That's what it's about. You're going to find it. You're going to get it. All of a sudden, you're going to get huge discount on that airplane ticket. Or you're going to get huge, you know. All of a sudden, Uber's going to give you 50 promos for you to ride to place. Airbnbs, that's going to give you that solitude. That's going to make you see this mirror effect. That's going to eventually, you know, make you realize that, okay, now I actually just like Neo, that hero's journey. I went and see and conquered the Matrix. Now I got to go back, you know, outside of the Matrix, right? Which was another layer. But basically then he went back into the Matrix to save others, right? So now you got to go back to the old life. You got to now, but now you know that you're a character, that you were always been a character. It's all illusions. Most people just don't realize they are not living in the moment of the now. So we got to start doing that. Why not? Why not do that, my friends, right? Why not do that, my friend? Why not? Why be shy? Again, I used to be very shy at some point, even at university. Back in the day. I'm 33 now. But what I did is practice. I started playing ping pong with people. I started practicing their communication skills in a fun activity that I loved doing. Everything changed. Once you start doing what you love, you unlock that full authenticity, full alignment, full, you know, embodiment. Then you become who you really want to become. Right? I'm getting those inner goosebumps, some outside, you know, sizzles. But you know, right now we are touching something big, a big magic here. Big magic we are creating right now together. That's going to change the world in now. That's going to spread now. That's going to help this version of me. It's going to help people 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you know? And I'm going to keep creating thousands of me. That's going to help in many different directions. That's what I love doing. That was my mission. I realized it now. Because now I wake up in the moment of the now. That's what it was all about. It was waiting for you to wake up in the moment of the now. Stop with those unnecessary fears like, oh my God, no, it's gonna be, you keep giving faith to the bad outcomes. If you have like, oh, if I do this, then it's just gonna happen. You gave faith, energy to the other thing. Why would the thing you want then happen? Because you said that, no, I also want the other thing too. You have the conflict. Stop with the conflict, then you start manifesting, right? Don't start feeding bad faith and all these negative you know, oh, what if this, what's that? Because I believe in the, you know, past and the future, because I believe, you know, I have these regrets towards past, and I have, you know, words and anxieties towards future. Why would they? Why would they? You tell me, why would I? Not have, not go crazy. Why would I not go crazy? Right, you say, and I understand, I empathize. That's why I gotta put myself out there to increase this thing in a big way. And you should too. If you, you know, keep waiting on that song, on that video, on that perfect time. There's no perfect time. You are perfect. You realize that. You have a super high-tech body. You just gotta unlock your gifts. You are not what you see in your mirror. Not in that sense. In the astral plane, dream, you can be anything you want to be. You shapeshift into anything you want to be. You teleport, you transform, you know, you become a, in my lucid dreams, I can change, I remember, anyway, like you can change into any animal, your perspective from any different animal, you can, you know, fly, you can do anything, like I love doing in my dreams and meditations, right? You can turn your daydreams type of meditations and start imagining things, and then boom. So, with frequencies too, like binaural beats that you can do, or many other different things, but I just do nothing. Just with the face mask, you know, just darkness, total darkness. Getting lost in it, paying attention, not, you know, making my body not go, you know, like my brain awake, my body, you know, go to sleep, basically. And then the magic happens, the hypnagogic stage that turns into dream, that all of a sudden you're another character you're controlling, another vessel in a way. Then you see that you can also interact in that environment with that environment, you know. So another world, basically. And then when you take that lucid dreaming stage into higher versions of it, like there's, again, so many different levels of it, right? Like there's the non-lucid sleep, where, again, you're not lucid, it's regular sleep, where most people don't remember the 4 to 7 natural dreams that they saw from that day, you know, that night. They don't remember it. But that's natural, that we are all supposed to remember. Like, you gotta actually, you know, if you do journaling, if you do even like recording your dreams with your iPhone Memo app or whatever app you got on that Android or whatever, and you do these things, it's going to increase, right? Like that non-lucid all of a sudden become pre-lucid. All of a sudden you will question, is this a dream? Just like right now you are doing with this dream. You do in that dream, is this a dream? Nah, it can't be. Come on, don't be crazy. Can't be a dream. And then you get fooled, and then you don't remember it because you thought it was real life, and then you suffer there too. You're working there too. You're thinking you gotta do this and that there. A lot of energy going all kinds of which way, this friend, that coworker, there, all this. They are living rent-free in here when you're not living in the now. As soon as you take your energy from them, you will see how they will change too. Right away. Again, it's a game of energies, vibrations, and frequencies. You just gotta keep increasing yours. But you know, full moon comes and all this stuff. Again, different people, different. You gotta, you know, in those times especially, full moon, right? Do the best. Start in the morning. Wim Hof meditation, this red light therapy, this you know, cold shower, this whatever you like doing as well. You love doing music right away, like music, dancing, and then whatever you want. Yoga. Yoga is also very important in sutras. But basically, when you raise, let me say it like that, when you raise your vibrations, when you raise your energies and frequencies, you will start to see the formula in effect. Right? then you will see the conclusion. You will see that, yeah, you did it right. That's why that happened. That's why you changed. You jumped into this other version of you, this other timeline, this other parallel universe where now you're saying, nah, nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't going there. I ain't fighting you. Nah, you go do whatever, right? You want to do that? Go lower your own frequencies. I'm not engaging with that. Nah. And life is not going to put you through that type of stuff. I mean, you got new levels, new devils. You got to first conquer some demon. But then, and those people, you know, it's going to take lifetimes for them, some of them, to get to where you're at, right? Unfortunately, some of them were, again, chosen. They were about to wake up. They went to the wrong direction now. Many more lifetimes to enter. Who knows? Anyway, so, but once it's in the now, then you know in the now, living in that now, you know, then you can flow. That's why I was so, you know, weirded out. Like if I take this off and then hear the beat, like I was so weirded out when I was freestyling all of a sudden very easily, right? This happened a few months ago, and I was doing it fast. If I speak in Turkish, 724, very fast freestyle, like straight up channeling. And that's my mother tongue. English a little bit harder, but the thing is that, anyway, like, that's when you live in the moment of the now. You love that thing, right? Those freestylers, they are channeling. That's why the time flies by. Because you're channeling your highest self. You're doing what you love. You focus on the now and the love. Live a light. Rainbows and sunshine. Kumbaya, my Lord. You know? But your version of it, not that toxic positivity, new age shit. The one, the discerning version. Where you actually, you know, the deep version, where you do the work, where you realize that you are a creator. So start creating. Don't sleep on that music that you created. Don't sleep on that video that you created. Start to create more so that you shine your light, that unique light that affects that other person, that's going to affect the whole world, right? Because we all affect the whole world. You would be surprised if you knew everybody that you have ever touched in your life and how that changed the world. You would be, then you would see, oh, maybe this timeline thing is also, gets even deeper. Different parallel universes, you know, different, jumping into different vessels in a way. Whatever you want to become. You want to become bold. I don't recommend. Don't lose that antenna. But the thing is that you gotta know. You now know, but you gotta know it in the now. You gotta be about it in the now, right? It's easy busy in the now. If you do it in the now. If you ask in the now, oh my God, there's a knock in the door. What's this? Oh, stress. There's all this. Let's put faith into all these negative outcomes instead of saying, boom, let's see what God is gonna tell me. What God is gonna show me now. What my higher self is gonna show me now. What my higher self is trying to tell me now. Yeah, damn. You understand? So, that's what it's all about. Then you see it. That it's everything, every religion, every philosophy, every Eastern, Western, Western, Eastern. You know what I mean? Every philosophy, every esoteric, these magical schools, everything that was always speaking in the moment of the now. Heaven and hell is in here. You just gotta be about it. That inner child, unlock it. Say, before doing something, say, I am gonna do what my inner child, my childhood, like, you know, when you were free, and you were, let's say, like 6-year-old, you're like running around, playing, whatever, right? Like no worries, no worries about the future, no regrets about the past, like you're just loving the moment, living, time flies by, right? All those clues, those are clues too, But a lot of people, they just, because of the diabolical evil and all this bullshit going on around the world, they like to, of course, all those symbols they see in the music videos, all those things that these, willing characters are playing their roles. There's role players that choose to play their roles in that way, make them think, oh no, wow, you guys are in something. What's going on in here, right? What's going deep? What's going on here? There must be some evil shit going on here, right? The first thing that our thoughts goes to, well, there must be something. I mean, this world is fucking bullshit. Everything is fucking evil, right? Nothing is fucking works out. So that shit must be also some bullshit, right? That's how you think. But that's not has to be the case. No? Not. So, but I mean, if you need it, that's going to be the case. Do you need depression? Do you need... Because that's supposed to last like months to a year or at most until you get it. What's your spirit, your body is trying to prevent you from, like saying like, no, that what you're doing is that wrong path, not that job. No, like you're not a slave to the boss. You don't have to have a boss. Like you don't have to, or again, depends on, there's so many pathways to awakening, just like Bhagavad Gita kind of speaks of, right? Like there's 5 different whatever, like if you have a family, if you have kids, if you're whatever, there's different type of hierarchy works in different, everyone has to do their job so that, the whole thing works. That's why it's very mysterious how that fine-tuned thing, the butterfly effect, that once you do that change that your spirit has been trying to speak to you, tell you to do, and eventually if you do those things by yourself without waiting for confirmation, then you will easily pick up on those things. Intuition will be insane. You will see everything. You will hear it from random things, that random cracks in the walls. All of a sudden, perfect time, right when other person was saying something, that's a clue for you to realize that that person is that, or whatever they're saying is true, or or whatever you're saying, whatever is going on at that time, right? That music that showed up, that music that's speaking to your soul, that come out, and that you think it's random. It's never random. Every single millisecond, if you focus on the moment of now, it's trying to tell you something deep. You just gotta think like a Sherlock Holmes. What's going on? And then you see it every single day. Then you cannot deny. At some point, coincidence. Are you gonna be a coincidence theorist for decades like you've been? Or are you gonna now realize that no, these synchronicities, all these things that you repeat, these loops, that history that repeats, Are you gonna wake up now, humanity? Before the reset, that realize, and that reset is rebirth. It's that Jesus, that you need to reborn into again. But this time, knowing that you have always been playing a character this whole time, you've been worried about bullshit, past, future, doesn't exist. You can't change it, right? Because you gotta change yourself. Change starts with you. Change starts in the dinner table, as they say. All those animals that cry, they like yesterday in my country, Turkey, there was this thing called Kurban Bayramı. And in that thing, there's a lot of victims, these animals. There's a lot of videos, these animals, right? These sheep, these cows, calves, these baby calves, these, goat, whatever. They're running around there sometimes there was a video of cow on the roof of a building, like a 50-floor house, and then there's so many like running around trying to not die, right? They see their friends dead, they see like they cry, or again, They know, they speak, like though it was proven those birds, you know, they have their language. Every animals, they got a language. They're also basically reincarnations, you know, like they are different essence. The evolution is in a way real in the spiritual sense of material world. I mean, there is when you look from the very bottom, right, to go to the top of the evolution scale, there's the realm of, like, basically, what's it called, before plants, it's like kind of like bacteria, you know, like type of stuff. But anyway, and then animals, and then humans, right? So right now the highest self of kind of like animals are us, but how are we treating them? Because it's kind of started the evolution. Like you had to almost, like some people in near-death experiences, they are like, oh yeah, I had to live through as an animal. There's even a parable, goat, when the man is about to cut the throat of the goat, basically, goat starts to laugh, like, and then the guy is like, why are you laughing? And the goat says, you know, my friend, I thought I wouldn't be here before, because I was you, my friend, but I am so happy because as soon as you cut my throat, then I will finally be you, and you will be me. You know, that type of parable. That's karma. So these animals are running around, like these health issues, right? These people face these top 15 diseases in the world, where top 14 of them, the vegan diet, the plant-based whole food diet, is the only diet that's ever been proven to prevent, you know, 9 of them, I believe, around, or 7, treat, and the 5, including top 3 diseases like heart disease, the number 1, reverse. Dr. Dean Ornish in 1990, 99% or something, patients reverse their heart disease, number 1 killer. What? Number 1 killer has a cure? How come the whole world doesn't know? And then this study has been repeated many times, and then always the same outcome. And then we have the diabetes, same thing, like type 2 diabetes, reversing diabetes in 30 days. Write that on YouTube. See that documentary, right? Same thing, the same diet. One ring to rule them all. People are lost in this fucking carnivore thing, all this, like, science already showed how horrible that is. And, well, people already experience and then see how horrible that is. But anyway, like, do you think it makes sense that these animals that, like yesterday it happened in my country, all these animals in the street, like blood everywhere, you know, all that shit. Do you think that's what your highest self wants? What unconditional love wants? What God wants? You think the chicken that you eat, that fish, yeah, doesn't matter if you're spiritual. Doesn't matter if you see the mirror effect and speak the tarot videos. You know what I mean? Do you think that unconditional loves want these animals to run around, fear, years of torture? These pigs rip their genitals right away. These, you know, whoosh. The chickens, you know, the mouth and the pig rather, cut, and so that they don't bite each other to death. And in these little tiny cages where many of them are stuck in, where even the labels doesn't mean anything. You know, the free range, this and that. It's just they're lying and all kinds of tricks behind that. But anyway, so that thing happened yesterday in my country, and all these animals are running, crying, trying to not, and then all these people are trying to, like, again, what happens in these factory farms when animals run? They are put back to the prison, right? And that's how humanity is, you know, when it comes to the soul trap theory, that's what people thought archons were doing to people. You know, that's what they're doing, yes. Not in a way, that's what they're doing. Because when you're living in those lower chakras, that's the contracts you agree with. Archon contracts, soul trap contracts. That's what the loops that you put yourself into. Those inner demons will have to live through you, through your vessels. They will want to live, and you welcome them. Welcome those vampires into your house, into your temple. You didn't treat your temple, right? So why would they not be able to sneak in there when you are even lower and lower frequency with these drugs and stuff, right? And there are good ways to use them, there are bad ways to use them. You can use in a loving way, spread truth. You can use in a, like, what you love doing, like you can meditate with them, right? But I'm talking about good plants, like mugwort, like lotus herb, like Mexican dream herb. But anyway, so yeah, those lower frequencies, that's gonna change you. That's not gonna make you see. Your intuition is gonna be gone, and eventually, some people they're fully gone. They're taken away by their higher self because they don't even deserve it anymore. They become that demonic. That much drugs, that much, things that they do. They're possessed now. They're sleepwalking. Most people are already walking dead. They're already zombies. They are sleepwalking through their lives 47% of the time, again, focusing not on the moment of the now. Thus, they don't see the dream, the awakening dream that they're in front of them, that these things that they think about, that comes through their life. Like the other day, when I needed, I was thinking of needing a blue pen, boom, blue pen in front of me in the subway, that's a train, Anyway, so when you recall your energy from others, now you have your full energy to use, to manifest, but you got to do the right things. You got to follow the lessons. Boom, new levels, but new levels until you get to the full awakening of, at that point, kind of it's still before awakening, chop wood and carry water. After awakening, chop wood and carry water. But after awakening, when you chop wood, that wood is going to speak differently. Like my sensei, one of my spiritual gurus, teachers that I'm learning from, Theosophy, and many other amazing people out there, use them. Many other amazing gods, vessels are teaching you the next levels that you need. Whatever you focus on that moment of now, it's going to be beneficial to you. But you got to really pay attention, especially once you're at that higher frequencies. You are really focusing on, you started your day right, with a good routine, meditation. You wake up with a meditation. You meditate into sleep, right? You use that attention and intention together before meditation and going to sleep, or doing anything. You can bless your food. This food is not gonna hurt me, whatever in it, Do that. Do magic. Try to do magic. More magic. Why not? What if it's real? Just what if? And then the moment speaks to you, right? That eye, that all-seeing eye. It's now, after you're you go through that labyrinth, right? Or you see that blood, that fucking this place, and then eventually you're getting out of the maze. Then now you're at that crown chakra, that soul chakra. Then you're at the top of that mountain. You've been climbing it for a long time. You go back sometimes. You pause. You think that's a good spot to stop, and then you continue, and then you go back, right? But eventually you get there. Then that's what this awakening is. Enlightenment. That's what people are talking about. That's the real awakening. Seeing that everything is now. Seeing that once you do those little things, little differences, little changes, that now changes too. That confirms to you. Tarot speakers are saying that, okay, here is the card, where's my tarot deck? Anyway, right there. Here's the card that says, you did it, my friend. You did it, And here's the card, and you did it, man. But it's all in the moment of the now, You gotta realize every single millisecond that's trying to tell you something. It's merciful, man. You just gotta take that one step towards real awareness, and then it will take 10 steps towards you Go read my community posts from the bottom to top, those part 5. Like if you don't see this, or if you don't see it in a deep way, like read those readings, understand zero tolerance, understand the real, that real heart, authenticity, that once you release that heart from that cage, rib cage, from those prison cells in the body that were, surrounding the heart, that anagram of heart, earth, that couldn't go express itself in earth. Now they can. Now you can. Now you can play the game. Now you know some of the universal laws. You can learn the rest of the universal laws. Apply them. Once you know the rules of the game, once you know the formula, once you know every single religion, philosophy, every single historic teaching is always teaching in its core. Once you get that, because God always have millions of paths for you to get to Him, which is you thy gods. Jesus, see it. You are not here to worship God, my friends. You are here to express God. And that's another quote without the my friend. But so once you unlock that thing, you're gonna have some interesting experiences like this. Check this out. Opa. Let's have some interesting experiences here. But anyway, now you realize it better, right? And me expressing that crazy video, these crazy videos that you see out there, people expressing themselves, again, the ones that do it right without realizing it, like they're just doing what they love. They just chose to do a Twitch stream. They love playing that game, and they love streaming that, thing. And all of a sudden, a lot of people join because they love to see that love. The love spreads. It's contagious. Laughter spreads. It's contagious. And people will remember these unique things, unique times, that unique compliment. They will remember. Their soul is encoded to remember forever, especially in this timeline. So that when the time comes, when that random person says everything's going to be okay, they know deep down. They just need to get to that moment of the now. So, are we going to get to the moment of now? Because already we are in that illusion, the delusions of everyone, right? How was this episode? In the show, Neo Verse, the vegan skeptic, Neo Reborn, 3 nicknames, 1 goal, spread it all around the world. Yeah, I even saw so many people doing, talking about this stuff, and then just saying, oh, this is amazing, this is gonna be amazing. And they are right. This is both amazing, and it's gonna be amazing. Forever bliss has begun. Do you choose it? When the bad stuff happens, do you choose to turn them into the best thing that ever happened to you? When you lose that job, when you lose that girlfriend, boyfriend that was never right for you because you didn't meet them at the right frequency, or they didn't choose to raise their frequency when you were doing them at the right time, or they didn't catch up with you eventually as well in the future, but it doesn't matter. You want to move to the next frequencies, next levels. Then you gotta beat those old devils, but with kindness, or however you want to play your character. But Forgiveness is a huge thing. You gotta forgive yourself first, and you can't forgive others. That's important, because everyone is doing their best with what they got. If they knew this out, do you think they would do that fucking those things? No. So you gotta realize and forgive, but never forget. Never. You don't go back. You don't do the same mistake again. Never. You will be tested again and again. If you don't, you will advance. If you don't rely on these messages and too much, you don't wait for them to tell you, for me to tell you, and you do it. Because it's all me, myself, and I. But if you really do it yourself, take that step, and then boom, you see that everywhere is change. All of a sudden, all these random YouTube videos is not random. They're talking about, yo, you did it. Congrats. Now next. Sometimes those same videos are going to come up again because you improve the next level, but the same video that spoke to you in a different perspective, now it speaks to you. Now the same words says something else. This is why the world, it is the way it is, because when people hear others, they hear it from so many different filters, so many different perspectives, lower frequencies. They cannot catch up. They cannot see that gorilla in that video, that basketball video. They can't, they cannot pay attention anymore. They are too drugged out. They are too stressed out. They are too tired. So stop being tired. It's time. It's time to take back your energy. It's time to recall your power. It's time to become worthy. I got no muscle. A little bit. Oh, let me see. It's time to improve. Oh, see how I improved? Oh, even more improvements. Nice. So, Eminem, I'm Not Afraid, that song, check that out. You're not afraid anymore. You don't need to be. Any of these situations, time always heals, isn't it? Time heals everything. And eventually, once you see like these again, channelers, psychic videos of these people I shared on my community post, I can share more, but all of a sudden in minutes, they connect their past loved ones to them, the things that they could not possibly know. Only their past loved one could know. Is all of a sudden giving to these people. These people all of a sudden break down crying. And then realize, afterlife is real. And now, obviously, there's the software version of this, like where, Akashic Record Matrix database, it's all recorded and it's all getting, all these people are deceived. Actually, all these people are reincarnated. You want to put yourself in loops again? Did you already? First, get through the mirror stage. Remember why you came here for. Remember what's going on here. What's really going on. And then, come tell me some bullshit. Before you do the work, like I've been doing past 20 years, 724, trying to see what the truth is, trying to spread it. But now I'm happy, finally. Bruce Lee, be water, my friend. Be water. Whatever the situation is, be water. Shape into it, like water does. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. Be water, my friend. So, you're gonna become the cup. You need to become the cup. You need to drink that coffee. You drink it. I don't recommend it. That's the issue, Most people, they're addicted to caffeine, these energy drinks, because they're not following the their natural diet that doesn't hurt, like that natural diet, that Bhagavad Gita type of Indian diet that's like vegetarian but better, like that whole foods plant-based vegan. That's like it's proof in the pudding. 14 diseases, top 15. Only accidents it cannot prevent, which is understandable. But and Dr. Accidents is part of it. But basically, once you do what's right, instead of kill them with these negative bullshit, kill them with kindness. Choose what kind of a teacher you will want to be facing before, like when you were waking up. You would want to tell them, fuck you, when situations are put in front of you, it's for you to either potentially help that person, potentially give them some sort of deep insight, learn deep insight. It's always the case, usually both ways. But that's the thing. There's a reason why that person showed up there. Maybe you didn't close that loop. Or maybe you had to, you had to say that, okay, sayonara, goodbye. I'm just, sorry man, I just gotta, no sorries actually, no sorries. But, if depends on the situation, of course. But yeah, you gotta do you now. You gotta create your own empire now. You gotta give your energy to the world now, instead of these loops, these soul contracts, so that the world, this power of the internet, via the power of the internet, the algorithm that puts these videos at the perfect time for the person to see and understand at that perfect time, for them to be open-minded into that, for them to feel that way, and then they see it. And that's a confirmation. Right? So yeah, once you have that confirmation, it's confirmed. What do you need to see? You want to see 1,000 more confirmation? You're going to see them if you focus on the now, but eventually you got to do it. Again, if you sleep on those, let's say you made, you created all these hundreds of songs, but you never share them, right? You create these things by yourself, but you never share them. The love, that stuff that you love doing, you never think about trying to, do that as a living. Then, once you start doing that, that changes, because, in a way, if you did that, like imagine you've done that for years before, the type of energy you'd be dealing with right now, engaging with, type of health and everything. But again, everything happened in the perfect time, and everything will happen in the perfect time. All those things will happen again, just like they happened before in these different timelines. But from the past lives maybe. But the thing is that now we are in these modern times know the most when it comes to the type of understanding we will have when it comes to this moment of now will be the best. There's a reason why we picked this timeline, just like in the Matrix movies, why this timeline was picked. All this technology going from zero to hero. Our parents kind of like, if you're around my age, they're like shocked, they're like, what happened? I was riding with these like lamps, I was like, these candles and all these other things. All of a sudden I have like a VR and I'm in these millions of different worlds I can experience. What? You know what I mean? So that's why I said that too far. Alright. So I can go on and on. I even had many notes, many different topics I was going to cover, but it would take, each of them would take hours if I want. But anyway, I can never get tired of talking. But yeah, more to come. More to come. Many more to come. Many more to come. Are you gonna come and see? Awaken into the reality. In the sea. Swimming in that sea. You know, we are the drops in that ocean. And then you become the ocean. And then you see. You got every information there is already in you, in that high tech that you can pull from the ether, from, you know, everywhere, from dreams, from everywhere. Those inventions that came from dreams, you know, those movies that came from people's dreams. And then you start creating the magic. And the magic is created more and more until your whole life is magic. Your every millisecond is magic if you want, via these type of deeper videos, you know. But yeah, you know, whenever you need it, all that information is available in that ether, in that Akashic record. So people tap in, you know, astral projectors also, you know, people tap in, they get some information, they come back, all kinds of stuff here happening. But the very nice part of the situation is that, my friend, you gotta see what you don't see yet. You gotta be what you're not being yet. But sometimes in some moments, you know, you have to be your higher self or highest self in that specific moment. All of a sudden that mother, you know, lifts that car. All of a sudden you say that perfect thing. You need to say that person that to change their whole life. You didn't mean to say it. They didn't mean to expose themselves to you. All of a sudden, you know what I mean? And then your whole life changes because now they expose, and you know, now you see. Now you hear. But yeah, you can unlock that higher and higher self at all times, in a way, you know what I mean? Like imagine so many unlimited potential everywhere. Are you ready to wake up now? Ready to wake up now? Yes, you are. Because I was and I am. And me, myself, and I is you, yourself, and the third eye, which is where we connect to each other. It's like on those different realms in a way, of future selves. When they say that everything is happening in synchronicities, you know, authenticity and synchronicity are the what's really going on, is the real currency. It's what's, you know, that's the highest path, that's that next level, you know. And you're gonna keep advancing, and that's forever bliss, my friend. As soon as you focus on that now, it's forever bliss. Can you imagine how powerful you have to be to make yourself forget all these things, to make yourself, put yourself in such a dream, to eventually wake up, and once you wake up, then you realize, oh, all that bullshit, I mean, I still can't believe I come here, but goddamn, what's next now? What's next now? All these unknowns, all these big questions, unanswered questions. Will they be answered now? Yes, they will be, slowly but surely. But, you know, they will continue because that's part of the fun, you know. But you gotta get to the Abhavantakarana, higher chakra levels to in order to see that. But in where I'm coming from, when it comes to soul trap community, people are like, there's a big some portion of it where they're trying to close their chakras. You know, they're like, nah, I'm done with this shit. It's all bullshit. It's all negative. These entities siphoning energy from all these chakra points. Let's close them. Let's run away. Let's run away. Let's believe in this negative. Let's all these stories that we're gonna circle jerk, you know, with each other for eternity. Let's spread it out even to other people. Put themselves in those loops. But sometimes you gotta pass through those atheism stuff, soul trap stuff, all this stuff, in order to become who you need to become, which is what happened to me. You can't just be like toxic positive, toxic negative all the way. No. Light and dark both teaches stuff. Everything, you know. You gotta be a monster sometimes. You gotta be an angel in those other times. So, are you ready to be who you want to be, who you've been wanting to be, whom your highest self is planned to be? Are you ready to conquer the world? Are you ready to, you know, all these things, examples that the world show you in your screen, in front of your screen, you know? It was never moving. The movie you are watching right now, that screen, that your life screen showed you. What did your life screen show you? A lot of bad shit, huh? But a lot of good shit too. And the good shit made you jelly, envy, and you know you desire it, you know you're gonna get it eventually. Maybe, right? If you follow your highest path. Whatever you desire, usually, is whatever you need to get so that you help the next person to get to the next desire that the other person needs. You know, the whole thing works in a hemisphere's way. God works in mysterious ways. You know. So all these sayings, you know, is important. But these people, they know not what they do, and no weapons formed against you shall prosper, my friend. Don't let it. Don't put yourself in that loop. Because whatever, you know, you want is gonna basically happen. It's gonna follow you, what you follow. If you smile to the mirror smiles back. But if you cry, if you're angry, you know, if you're all these emotions, and then what? Then the mirror has no choice but to reflect back to you. So why are you reflecting back this life mirror that you see from this, you know, projecting and everything, that we are constantly basically astral projected in the awake state in this world, and in this world that we astral project into, and these screens that we see, these live movies that we are watching, these books that we are reading of our lives. We are in the third act right now, but after the third act, you know, you're reborn already now. Now it's forever bliss. Now there's many more books to enjoy. But now, you will enjoy it with the access of memory, of never forgetting again, unless you want to, which, you know, once you do everything, and then you're really that powerful to actually make yourself forget again, to re-experience all the beauty from beginning to end, which the beauty is forever bliss. You know, you shall remember too. So yeah, I think you're ready. I'm ready. And the world is gonna change one day at a time. This has been the second episode of the show New Reviewers. Neo-reverse? No. Neoverse. It's to be known as the vegan skeptic or the vegan Turk before. And Neo reborn. But we are all Neo, and we will all reborn into this world again. How? What is that reincarnation trying to tell us? What? How? By awakening in it again. By seeing the mirror, now living with that. By now advancing beyond the 3D mirror world into 4D, 5D, and beyond that 5D plus. VIP access required. Focus required. Living in the now required. Full authenticity required. None of the negative shit. Jealousy, envy, all that bullshit. You gotta train yourself out of that. Practice yourself out of that. Realize everyone is here for a reason. It's that precise, that perfect. Everyone has a role to do. Are you gonna do yours? Are you gonna start doing your mission? Or are you gonna repeat? Because it's very simple. You just start one step towards real awareness. It takes 10 steps towards you, my friend. So, just take that step. You know, the journey to the other side of the world, all those kilometers, you know, it starts with one step. It always starts with that first step. And that arrow has to go back. And if you want to go back, before it goes forward, my friend, into the moon and beyond. Over the moon you're gonna be when you start living the way you really want to live, like deep down. Your inner child is in that cage right now, trying to come through you, trying to make you, you know, see it from that lens. Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, that's amazing. Oh, what is next? What is next? What is next? What is the next lesson? What is the next this thing? But it doesn't have to be bad now, because I don't have to let it affect me. I don't have to react to it now. I don't have to do fucking nothing, you know? So, do something so you don't have to do nothing. Start doing what you need to do, which is very simple. Just see, just observe, just look. What is that? Okay, what is that trying to tell me? Okay, let's do that. Oops. Oops. I guess that was it. Next thing, do it again. Oops. That was it too. 2-0, you're ahead. Continue. Loot Lounge waits. So, be about it and see it. See it come true live to in front of you, to show you that it was all a dream, just like all these near-death experiences, you know. In these near-death experiences, when people said, what? I was stressed about that. I had all those anxieties and depression and all that bullshit I was carrying in a huge, deep way that kind of put me through nightmares, living and, you know, in dreams. How come that thing felt like a dream, like it passed by like that, like that? How did that happen? Wow. Life was a dream. Now you're awake in that dream. everything you see around you is part of the dream. It can speak to you in different ways. You look at it longer, different thing, different sound comes in different light, different whatever. Everyone around you, again, their body language speak different language, their words speak differently, the way that comes out, it's, the facial reactions, and then everything in between. It can be read. It tells you different meanings, but once you're in that higher frequency, you start reading. And all of a sudden, you already solved the case in the first minute. You didn't need to see anything else. Like, I need to experience a person for 3 seconds to 5 seconds to like realize what they're about. You just see it in a few minutes at most. Like, oh, okay, so that person is at that level. Like, I love leveling with people, like wherever they're at, I'm right there and trying to raise them up, but so many more to come, many more episodes, and I'm gonna make specific videos eventually, maybe shorts, maybe whatever. There's so many things to do, but so many people are doing it. Check it out. Focus on the now to see. It's all out there, free. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you look. The pathways are limitless. Whatever religion, whatever you pick, the deep down, the metaphorical, the figurative version of it, the frequency version that you couldn't read before, see before. Now you see, now you hear, now you listen. Because you listen. Now you don't interrupt people. You wait, you see, what are they saying? What the fuck? Okay, they spoke for 10 minutes. They exposed themselves. They said this, that, this and that. The same bullshit. The same illusions that we have been wrestling with. Humans are experts at making things matter. But the ones that don't matter, because they're all illusions anyway. So pick your favorite illusion, my friend. Be what, my friend? Whatever happens, it was there for a reason. Don't be bitter. Don't pick sides. Just observe. Don't react. Come on now. You're better than that. So, are you better than that? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Why would you see this video otherwise? Why would you come to the 2 hours, 22 minutes mark, especially in a confirmation, to see this? So, thank you. Cheers.